According to the Centers for Disease Control, over 11,000 Americans, 11,000, are murdered with guns every year. That's more each year than all the lives that were lost in the tragedy of 9/11 and the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan combined, each year. Every day, more than 30 men, women, and children are killed in violent shootings. 200 are shot but survive. These are sobering statistics, but numbers don't really capture the deeply personal impact of gun violence. There are too many families who now face an empty seat at a dinner table, too many parents who walk past an empty bedroom, too many husbands and wives who have lost the love of their lives because of gunfire. It is heartbreaking, and sadly, it has become almost routine in this great nation. In a park in Chicago, at a nightclub in East St. Louis, Illinois, at a movie theater in Aurora, Colorado, at a shopping center in Tucson, Arizona, in a Sikh temple in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, at a military base in Texas, in college lecture halls in DeKalb, Illinois, and Blacksburg, Virginia, and in a first-grade classroom in Newtown, Massachusetts. Americans all across the country are saying enough. We've reached a tipping point. We need to act. We need to better protect our kids, our families, our schools, our loved ones from the epidemic of gun violence. Some say we should just enforce the laws that are on the books, but that's not enough. There are so many gaps in those laws that we know they've created the situation we face today. The Senate will take up many proposals that will close those gaps and help prevent and reduce gun violence. We will consider universal background checks for gun sales, tougher gun laws against illegal straw purchasing and gun trafficking, stopping the flood of new military-style assault weapons onto our streets, limiting the capacity of new gun magazines to a level that allows for reasonable self-defense but reduces the scope of carnage that a mass shooter can cause. All of these proposals are based on common sense. All of them have strong support among the American public, and all of them, I believe, are clearly consistent with our Constitution and the Second Amendment and the Bill of Rights. There are some who continue to challenge the constitutionality of reasonable gun regulation, even though history, precedent, and the Supreme Court statements in Heller and McDonald weigh heavily against them. They do so hoping that judicial activism will advance their no-compromise ideology when it comes to guns. But I think we need to be careful. This is not some abstract legal debate. Guns have forever changed the lives of so many people. Let me mention just a few of them. Hydea Pendleton, an honor student and inspiration to her friends. A walking angel, her cousin called her. She was taken from us 2 weeks ago. Hydea's family is here today. Ryan Mace, a student at Northern Illinois University with a warm heart, a bright future, murdered in her classroom by a man with a history of mental illness. Ryan's mother, Mary Kay, is here today. Blair Holt, 16 years and full of promise, killed while shielding his female friend from a gang member spraying bullets on a Chicago city bus. Blair's mother, Annette, is here today. Marcus Norris, who was hit in the face by a bullet that came through the wall of his house when he was 9 years old. Thank God Marcus survived, and we're blessed to have him here today. Chicago police officer Thomas Wortham IV, a true American hero who dedicated his life to serving his country and his community, killed by gang members with a straw-purchased gun. I attended his funeral service. Officer Wortham's family is here, and his sister Sandra will testify today. There are many more here in this room today whose lives and whose families have been changed by gun violence. I would like to ask those friends and family of the victims of gun violence to please stand. Look about this room. Understand that the debate we have before us has affected so many lives, and thank you all for being here today. As we conduct this debate and we honor your loved ones who are no longer with us, we know that we have to act. Thank you so much for joining us at this hearing.